All right? Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you, and I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. So I'm going to talk about my friend Jules, who's an old friend of my family. So she still lives in my old hometown back in the UK. I've known her since I was a very small child, so I think probably from when I was born actually. And she's someone who used to come and spend a lot of time at our house because where I lived is kind of in the centre of town, so she would very often come round when she was shopping, that kind of thing. So she was basically always in our house as I was growing up. So in terms of her kind of qualities, she's very, very easygoing woman, and although I guess she's about 70 now, but she's very, very young at heart. She still dresses very well. She's quite extroverted. She often wears sort of very bright clothes and kind of very bright and big jewellery. But she's very, very kind, very, very warm-hearted kind of person, very, very supportive. So I think the reason I really respect her is that for most of her life she's struggled with illness, but despite that she's always kind of maintained that very, very positive kind of outlook on life. And she's very, very active, so she's always going off on little trips to Europe. She loves going to France, or she often flies off to New York, that kind of thing. And she's always very smiley and very positive all the time. And I guess the reason, another reason that I respect her is that she's very much her own person. So she's never rude or unkind to anyone, but at the same time she also really doesn't care what other people think about her. She just manages to be herself and express herself very much, and she's always been like that.
Thank you.
Okay.
How often do you see her these days?
These days not very often at all, so only really when I go back to the UK, so that's probably about once a year.
Okay, thank you.